Yeah. It's either your left or straight, unless you want to go to enchanting.
No, I don't think it's time to go to the chat.
Who wants to go straight? Alright, I guess we're going to the left.
I'm in different boats, so.
Rose is feeling the same way. Like, she has literally no idea about either of these paths, so it's like...
Yeah, so it's between the two of you.
Fine, we can go straight.
So we're going to the chanting.
No,
No.
we're going straight.
The chanting is towards your right. Then you also have straight and left.
We're looking downwards.
Yes.
So our right is the chanting, our left is not chanting, and straight is just...
I mean, whoever's doing the red line is really just making things more confusing, so thanks, Desper.
We're going straight.
Okay, you're going straight, is that it then?
Yes.
Okay. Down the way that you saw the body. Alright. So you go down that way. You turn a corner and you find yourself in a small room. A small room with a very little wooden table and 2 chairs. And on the table, you find a wine bottle and a glass of wine. And under one of those bottles, you see a piece of paper.
Snatch
Is that
the
a
paper
letter?
and hand it
Alright.
to Seth.
So you pick up the bottle, take the paper, and you give it to Septimus. Your second handout this session! Yay. You'll get it right away. Just need to... Hang on a second. Oh no, what have I done? I realize I've done a mistake. I closed the window that I should have not closed that early. Oops.
You can open it again by pressing Shift, Control, and T.
No, it's fine. I've found it now. Okay. Your next handout. Is everyone ready? Hopes are high. Hopefully this will clear everything out. Maybe it will reveal the mystery.
So it's just gonna make the water even muddier.
Perhaps. That is the question. Anyway, Septimus, will you read it out?
Read this very carefully and make sure everything is in order before the ritual. I can't afford you to screw this up. Once we are in the ritual room, there is no going back. Not without awakening Lurgoth. Bring Rosavalda, my daughter's dead body, down here and put her into the tomb that is labeled for me. My life is forfeit already anyway. Nothing I do now will save my life from him. Not her tomb, my tomb. That's the one that's linked. Again, do not put her in her own tomb, otherwise her spirit will pass on and everything is ruined. Take her amulet and bring it to me. Once we are in the ritual room, we will need to destroy it on the altar. We will also need to sacrifice a life to appease Lurgoth, or else he may awaken and devour us all. So prepare and bring a sacrifice. Any animal will do. Once the ritual is completed, she should be sleeping soundly in the tomb, her body restored, and her mind hopefully not too traumatized by death. If all goes well, we will have created a vampire. Oh, and just so you don't get any stupid ideas, it won't work with anyone else other than Rosavalda. And I swear to the gods, if you screw this up, I will sacrifice you and the animal instead. The Dark Priestess. I guess we found the writings of Lady Durst.
Saban, how's Rose reacting to this?
I would very much like to know myself.
There seems to be a silence. I don't know what to think of this. Why is I guess, the greatest question.
We'll proceed to just think heavily. Maybe your mother.
She wanted to make me into a vampire?
Well, did she know you were a ghost?
I don't think so.
Maybe she wanted you back after you had been in your room too long. Perhaps she was sorry and missed you.
Hmm.
Seems kind of strange that the rats were in, they just kind of, I don't know, it puts a little, now it makes a little more sense why the rats in Elizabeth's tomb were partly undead.
On one hand, if the rats were undead, could she not turn undead in the same coffin?
Well, she did say it wouldn't work with anyone else.
Well, I wouldn't say that those, like the rats, they didn't really seem like, how intelligent did they seem, like when compared to a regular rat?
Oh, it didn't seem like they were really that intelligent, really.
Yeah.
They seemed normal rat intelligence. But also the thing is that they might not have been completely undead. In fact, it was quite weird what they were, but it looked like they were half alive, you guess, maybe? It's hard to say. But you certainly saw some wounds that a normal rat could not have lived with.
But also, I mean, we can look at the ghouls. They may have been people who tried to cheat, so to say, and became something else, not a vampire.
That does leave me worried about one thing. If they tried cheating it already, is the Lurgoth still sleeping?
That is the question. Is that why they're still chatting?
Certainly sounds like a monster.
Have I ever heard about this Lorgoth creature?
I was waiting for that question. Roll me history.
I also want to roll a history.
You can do it, or you can assist each other. Whatever the heck.
What kind of...
Doubt Saban would have heard it anyway.
Oh, alright. Woohoo!
Alright, Septimus. You have heard of this creature before. It is supposed to be one of those creatures that resides in another dimension, that hungers and is supposedly able to grant wishes to those that it deems worthy. However, it is one of those, it's like a genie in a way. It is known to play tricks with the minds of mortals and have their way with them for the simple sake of their own, for its own amusement. So, it's like a genie. If somebody wishes for one thing, they may give it to them, but just not in the way they may have wanted. So if somebody goes, I want to live forever, gotcha! You're an undead ghoul now. You're welcome. As an example, maybe.
So
Septimus
Pax
is what I
father.
say. Septimus is gonna tell the group. From what I recall from the things that I've read, this Lorgoth creature is
Evil in its
kind of eldritch, kind of an abomination from another dimension. It's constantly hungry and it will behave like a djinn. It'll grant you a wish if it, but if it doesn't, it will.
Another thing that you also recall, by the way, is that Lorgoth, one of its most predominant features that is very often mentioned in writings that relate to it is its teeth.
Does it have many?
Not so much yes and no, but apparently it has a very big jaw that is all-consuming, with teeth that can destroy up to anything.
The robes! The robes!
Yeah.
Tis the robes.
He's gonna touch the sigil. I guess we found what this is for then.
The cultists. But we already knew that.
Do I know that Lorgoth is connected to vampires? Or
Not
what do I
really.
know about vampires?
Not really. It is an evil creature that is said to bestow dark gifts every now and then, but nothing really specific with vampire or lichdom or anything of the sort. Though perhaps it could. There's nothing that really states that it has one specific domain in which it resides.
So was it Lolgat they were always worshipping, or did they change up from this Strahd man?
Anyway, so you're standing in this room, you have the paper read. There is another way forward from this room out. And a door that leads to another room.
We've come this far. We might as well. But if we decide to, before we do, I want to put my ear against the door.
Alright, you put your ear up against the door. You hear nothing. Well, I mean, you do still hear the chanting very faintly from behind you, but in the room, nothing really.
I'm gonna open the door very slowly.
Very well. You open the door and you find yourself in a bedroom. A very fancy bedroom. You see a bed in the same fashion that you've seen in the master bedroom before, except this time it is more created in a design that incorporates black and golden colors. Otherwise, you have another small table and a chair, as well as a chest at the foot of the bed.
Unless anyone has any complaint, then I am gonna walk in and I'm going to kind of tap the chest with my sword.
Alright. Hang on just a second. I need to... Ah, crap. Okay. Need to just figure something out. Yeah. by the way, what about the others? What are you doing?
Urban is mostly thinking, considering about the letter.
It is an odd one. Rose also still seems quite confused about it, just going over it over and over again, just like, why would my mother do something like that, and why me? And it sounded like why in her tomb? I don't. She seems quite perplexed, and then, oh, amulet? What about my amulet? I don't. She seems to be
She
quite.
may have intended for herself to become a vampire, but seems that someone, him, was angry. Even becoming a vampire would not help her.
Anyway, yeah, you, by the way, you tap the chest. I need Rika and forgot the other guys, Saban, to roll me a perception check. What do we have? Alright, what about Saban? Alright. Well, this isn't... Saban, you're a little bit distracted because right now you have this conversation with yourself. But Rika, after Septimus has tapped the chest, you notice behind him, out of the wall, slowly hands coming out towards him.
I jump for Septimus.
You jump for Septimus.
Yes.
Alright. What's the intention here?
Well, to protect him. Firebolt, whatever is coming out of the wall.
Alright, okay. Start initiative. Everyone roll initiative.
Also, I found we left the purple and the amulet, right? We left that.
You left it upstairs around the neck of the dead girl.
Alright.
We want to break her apart. I'm pretty sure that
Sorry?
You guys are glitching up a storm from
Same.
and lagging.
Alright.
Sorry, what was that last part that you said?
And it's the purple orb amulet.
Yes.
Alright, so I don't know. Great. Just want to know because I wrote it down.
You don't have it with you. Yes. Right. So you're on the map. Everyone roll initiative. Somebody's missing. I think Rika.
Yeah, just a second. Hey!
Yeah. Go ahead. Do your fire blast. Whatever.
Wow.
And
Fireball!
before I, all right, do it. That does hit. That deals quite a good amount of damage. Yeah, it deals a good amount of damage actually, making it visibly repel as it looks at you and hisses. And what you now see is Elizabeth Durst, or what remains of her. You see a spectre similar to the one that you saw of the maid, but this one is much darker and less spectral, wearing black robes and all sorts of fancy shenanigans all around her. A amulet and a headwear, some gold around her arms and her neck, and a fancy headwear as she basically comes towards you and wanted to grab Septimus. She repels from your blast and seems visibly quite angry with you.
As a reaction, can I take the eye patch and slide it up on?
Sure. Yes.
Onto my forehead. Great.
Who do you give your turn to next?
Hey, Saban.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to go kill it, please.
Yeah. Saban seems to like stand still for a short while, and then does a small nod, and suddenly just takes 2 leaps and does an overhand strike, aiming to cut that head in the middle.
All right, go ahead.
Nope.
Oh yeah, no, that misses. Just as he repels from far blast, he swishes to the side as your sword just goes to the floor. Who's
And
next?
do we want to give her a double turn or?
I don't,
kind of-
nah,
yeah.
nah. I think that's a bad idea.
I mean, no, we have Septim though. So does Septim have his shield out?
Yes, he does.
Okay. That case, yeah, I give my turn to Septim. I
All right.
trust in his shield work.
Septimus, behind you, as you were just focusing on the chest, suddenly Rika sprang up behind you, and you suddenly realize there's fighting going on behind you as a ghost appeared from out of the wall. Miss Dorst herself.
He is going to kind of go past Rika.
Mm-hmm.
What is this thing over here?
This
Is it
is
a
a table. It's not really on your way unless you want to go into any of these squares.
Oh, he's gonna stand over here.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna slash it with a silver sword
Go ahead.
in the face.
That hits. Roll for damage.
And Septimus is using the silver sword, right?
Yes.
You deal a good amount of damage, and she seems visibly quite annoyed by your presence as she continues hissing at you. Clearly, whatever humanity she once has left her a long time ago. And now, it is her turn.
She's the house.
The first thing she does is she goes for Rika.
Ah, shit.
Having identified her as a glass cannon.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question.
Oh, I remember. Yes, I remember.
Yes. I would like to use my fighting style protection to protect Rika now.
What does that do
have-
again exactly? I do not remember.
Basically, according to this, when a creature you see attacks a target other than you 5 feet of you,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you can use your reaction to impose advantage attack roll. You must be wielding a shield.
Okay, you can do that. So as
Basically, what he's basically gonna do, let me record, is Rika's over here,
Mhm.
Septimus is over here. He's basically going to, hide her with a shield.
yeah, all right. And just as he's about to come and go for you, suddenly a shield appears in front of you from Septimus, and just as she was about to go and grab you, she goes back as she realizes you are protecting him. But she gets a double turn now because of that. And she decides that she doesn't like her chances right now. So she takes disengage action and disappears into the wall behind. I'm just going to put her here right now, but you don't know where she is right now.
So
And that-
center of the room.
She basically disappears into this wall right here.
Yeah, so we go to the center of the room.
Okay, now it is Septimus's turn. She disappeared. Gone.
Okay, But we're still going, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, no, it's totally safe, you guys. You're no longer in combat.
Hell no, it
What?
ain't. Hell no, it ain't. She's probably gonna go get reinforcements. And he's gonna relay just that. I'm not going. Here she is, she'll be back. Probably with friends.
Yeah, I still think we should just stay in the middle of the room.
And do we
Yeah.
recruit elsewhere or stay here?
We're cornered if we stay here.
What actions?
What are...
But there is no one. Wait. Is there another entrance to this room?
No, this is the only entrance here. The one you came through. Okay. Unless you want to position yourself or want to do something in this time, I will say that her next turn appears.
No, actually, if we can position ourselves, we should to the middle of the...
All right.
And
Alright.
Spawn also takes out his buckler.
All right. You have your buckler with you as well now. And suddenly she appears again and comes here, trying to take Rika from a different angle. She seems to really have it out for you, probably because you interrupted her in her sneak attack on Septimus, who then later
I'm
also...
just, one annoying bitch.
You can say that one twice. And just as she tries to go and grab you, she absolutely misses you. Like, absolutely, completely. And that's probably because she sort of... when she went into the wall, she sort of disoriented herself and she came up like 5 feet higher than she anticipated. So she tried to attack 5 feet above you. Now that she realizes this, she looks down and goes, shit, let's try that again.
Oh, she has 2 attacks. Oh,
And she once again comes for you. And this time she actually managed to get you. She grabs you by your chest and you suddenly...
Is this a saving throw?
No. You suddenly feel how energy is leaving your body. You take...
Action style. Is it within 5 feet of an ally or 5 feet of an enemy?
5 feet of an ally.
So you can still impose this.
Hang on, don't you also have to be within 5 feet of the enemy?
It doesn't say.
The wording is a bit bad because it just says when a creature you can see attacks its target other than you, that is within 5 feet of you, it may mean both, but it technically doesn't mean just the ally.
I'm gonna say it means you need to be within 5 feet of the enemy. Because I think I'm just gonna put it like that, and that's just gonna be the ruling for the rest of the game. So that means if you were to stand... So that means you could also do it if you were to stand like that. As long as you're within the reach of the enemy, you can basically affect the enemy in making its attack disadvantage.
Shield pass to take
Yeah.
the balance. Yeah.
But the point of a shield is to hide someone behind it. If I'm behind her, well, she's attacking. What am I doing? Am I hitting her over?
Well, no, I was thinking more of like you sort of insert yourself in between her attack and the thing. So you sort of deflect it.
Technically, yeah. But in the future,
Okay.
that does mean that in a situation like this, Septimus would be more protective if she was here.
Yeah,
Protective if I was what?
If you were
Septimus is
here.
because then
Okay.
you
Yeah.
can protect here.
I mean, that just makes the most sense of me, because otherwise in that previous example where he was here and he was here and attacking like that, that would also mean you could have defended her, which I think this just makes more sense like this. Anyway, going back to it,
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
you take 6 necrotic damage, and I need you to make me a con save.
All right. One of those things I'm pretty bad at. Oh, never mind.
Proficiency in-
Shit!
4 to it.
Yeah, just as
I-
her hands basically claw itself into you, just sort of just shove yourself backwards, and no further effects come to happen to you.
I
And
didn't remember I had proficiency.
and
Okay,
the creature gives its next turn.
You got a +2 to it.
The creature gives its next turn to Rika.
Also, Alida have 14 HP. Okay, so this bitch, holy shit, she's gonna get some radiant damage from the guiding.
Alrighty. That's. Whew.
Also, the next person to hit her with an attack has advantage.
See, this would be relevant if it weren't for the fact that this is radiant damage.
Yeah, I was kind of afraid that might do that.
So basically, you just go, and you see her basically stuck together in the air and vaporize.
I am all powerful.
In retrospective, I should have been more worried about the monsters than about you guys.
Yeah, what the heck?
Maybe you should have been worried about me choosing a divine soul sorcerer.
Yeah, also.
Rika,
Yeah.
oh my god, I'm so weak. Technically, also Rika, an atomic bomb.
Again, glass cannon.
Well-
I can kill people very easily.
On the bright side, you have defeated what I intended to be a boss battle. So good on you.
Ah, yes, 2 attacks. Right,
We
Well-
gotta start doing worse, or
Three
else next
attacks.
time it's gonna be much
Septimus did
harder.
something. Septimus did
Yeah.
do something.
I very much misjudged the power level of this party. Carry on then.
Well, you missed just the power level of Rika.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose the fact that she has all this radiant stuff is something I should have taken more into
Well, I
consideration.
have one spell that does radiant damage.
And the
Well,
badass
I'll
also-
tell you, that spell certainly worked well.
Yeah.
Yes, it's done its intended purpose.
Okay,
Looking
so
at anything undead.
Mrs. Durst disappeared, letting out a scream as she faded.
So about that chest.
Yeah. Do you want to look at the chest? It is locked.
Anyone have any lockpicks?
Does Saban have anything?
If one of you has a dagger, I can try doing that to it again.
I have a dagger.
Yeah, so... Does anybody have a hammer, or do I still use the back end of my axe?
Yes.
So
All
I
right.
will use a hammer and a dagger to try and
Roll athletics.
not smith too. That's what we used last time. That's the only reason I'm asking. I'm fine with both.
Are you sure?
Well,
I'm pretty sure we did. But
I'm just gonna go with athletics because I'm not completely seeing how Smith tools would be applicable in this scenario.
yeah, it's not really Smith tools.
meh.
I mean, if it was a chisel and a hammer, sure. But it's not really.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm, planning on using the dagger. So the dagger probably won't be used for combat afterwards.
Okay. So you do manage to break it open, but the dagger is absolutely ruined.
Great, I can get rid of my useless ass dagger.
And yeah, so now the chest is open, and inside you find okay, you find the following. You find 4 potions of healing, a Shane shirt, a set of thieves' tools. Those would have been useful. I know the irony, right? If only we had some thieves' tools. Anyway,
Cheek, cheek.
Well,
and you also get a flask of alchemist's fire. Have you got that?
Who's writing it down?
I have written 4 potions of healing, 1 flask of alchemist fire, 1 shirt of changing.
One Shane
Chain-
shirt,
chain.
which is an armor.
Okay, chain shirt. And something else, I think?
Yes, thieves'
Oh.
tools.
Thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools. Lockpicks.
There's also something besides that, besides the loot, which is 2 books which look quite old.
Ooh, good.
Steal.
Nice. Hey!
What does it say on the spine?
It says nothing on the spine. It's completely
Okay.
blank there.
Opening like the cover. What does it say inside? Like on the first book.
It just straight up says, wait, the cover. Do you mean like the first page,
Yeah,
or
no, yeah, I'm just open.
yes,
What does it? Does it say anything on the cover?
like you mean on the outside of the book?
Yes.
No, it's bland.
Okay. Opening first page.
It just says notes.
Did we find the diary?
No, it's Elizabeth's notebook. All right. The other one. What does it say?
The other one says the same thing on its first page. Notes.
One of the books looks the oldest. No, the newest. Or is
Ooh,
there a difference?
Roll me a perception for that one. It is, from the get-go, pretty hard to tell because both of them look quite old. So telling which one of them is older is hard. Do note, Maggie is a bitch. But they both look quite old. In fact, they look... You just feel like they both look so old that they must have been purchased in quite a closer scenario. Either that, or they're both so old that telling a few years apart is just too hard to do so.
I'm gonna check the back of the books. Which one is filled out? If both are filled out, like.
Yes, that way you actually managed to figure out that one of the back of the books is filled, the other one is not.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the newest book and go backwards until I find writing.
All right. The book seems to contain a list, like a spreadsheet of sorts. And each page simply contains an array of information. Name, occupation, house, and some other factors, age and date. And they're always filled out like such.
Are any of them crossed out?
Crossed out.
Yeah.
Crossed out. Yes. There are actually just on the last page you see that one thing is crossed out, which is a simple name. The name doesn't really mean anything to you. It's just the occupation that stands out slightly to you because it says maid.
Oh. The maid.
And where it says house, it says Dost. So I think you're catching on.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's... there is also one other familiar name on the last page. Maggie Koliana.
So these may be people she killed. I'm gonna look in the older book and just flip through it, see if that's...
Another thing, by the way, there's also a symbol next to a few names. Maggie Koliana's name is one such where it has a symbol next to it.
Well, how does the symbol look?
It looks just very bland. It looks like a circle with a cross in it.
Alright. The older book, the one that's filled out. I'm gonna flip through it, see what's in it.
Well, as you flip through all of the books, roll me an intelligence just to see how much you can gather just by flicking through it.
Okay.
All right. The books seem to have all sorts of names, and well, it obviously appears to you that they've been doing whatever they've been doing for quite a long while. You also happen to find a legend on one of the sides of the book where it explains what symbol means what. The other circle you've seen, the circle with the cross in it, stands for members. And it also appears that this symbol has been added later than all the other symbols. Other than that, there is just a lot of names in both these books. What starts out as having mostly names of, well, let's just say that the symbol of members starts appearing far further and much more recent. It only just started, well, it was there on a few occasions in the first book, but it only just started picking up steam in the second one.
When they began killing members, of course.
What's the last date? On the last entrance on the north.
Shit, now I actually have to work with numbers. I'm not even sure what year we're in. It's, give me a second here. I need to actually look it up.
Pathfinder is so much easier. It's just for the 600 and then the year of the module came out.
It is in... yes, it's, I don't know, something, month, things, year 757.
And how many
What year are
years
we in
ago was-
currently?
You are in the year... Well, I'll tell you so much. You're in a year that's already has 4 digits, so...
Okay, so quite a while afterwards. Huh. You know, that's kind of weird.
The numbers are not adding up at all. There have been disappearances for a few years, as far as we know.
Well, yeah, I don't think a ghost wrote in these books anymore.
There have been disappearances for the past few years that we know in Sandra.
Yep.
This has been going on for a few centuries.
Yep.
Rose says we're in Barovia. I know
Wait.
for a fact we're in Sandra.
Daniel,
Yeah.
What the hell is Barovia?
what is the first date of
Oh.
the first killing? Yeah, the date.
The first entry anyway is
Yes.
about... It's about 745.
Okay, so this went on for 12 years.
Wait. If the first date was in 745 and the last date is in
57.
Okay.
And we're in the 4 digits.
Mm-hmm.
What's the matter?
The music.
Hmm? Everyone's still here? Everyone's
Yep.
just silent.
Yeah, they're calculating years, so.
Everyone's thinking about the big mystery. Oh yeah.
Anyone figured anything out yet?
This is the problem with having high, actually stupid as shit in real life.
Dracula, what are you trying to calculate? What are you trying to figure out?
I'm not even sure myself at the moment. I'm just putting together all the things that we know. First data notebook, 745. Last data note, 757. Current year sojourn is in 40. Rose says we're in Barovia. We know we're in sojourn. This is all very confusing.
Well, the city probably has changed name since 757. Second of all, the country may have been assimilated since then. The county, the Duchy of Barovia. County. No. Yeah. Isn't it Count Strahd?
I think the note just says Strahd von Zarovich. I'm not sure if he says he gave us son titre.
Prince. Well, he's Prince of edgy.
Ah, so a goth.
Prince of Darkness. So, I mean, he may be a prince, so it could be a kingdom. It could also just be, yeah, it's probably the kingdom of Barovia was assimilated into a country. The name of a town may have changed. The name of a city. So,
Can I roll a history or something? I know Sandra used to be part of Barovia. Or that the city used to call Barovia. And also, can we close the door?
Yes. You were asking if you ever heard anything about the county of what?
Basically the city of
The city of...
Sanjan, the one that we're in right now.
Wait, of who has heard of it before? If you know anything of its history? Of the city?
Basically, yeah, if it ever was part of Barovia.
Ah, okay. Sure, you can give me a history check for this one.
I am rolling exceptionally well tonight. I really hope it's Close right now.
What did you roll? Oh, a 19. So you actually know quite a bit of Sunderland's history, probably because you grew up there, and you know your family is also quite related to these things. And you know, as this sort of thing, you are expected to have a certain amount of education about these matters. But you kind of know its story for quite a good distance into the past. Even you would say roughly the area of 700, 600. And around that time, there used to be another. Actually, back then there seemed to be a kingdom here, and a completely different place as well. But you do not think it was called Barovia. You think it was something of. You don't quite recall. It was something like Sindaul or something like that. But you do remember that the name of the city today does abbreviate from the name that it was back then, which almost is certainly not Barovia.
I'm going to relay that information to my friends.
So Bond seems to be dazed of like the grip on his sword is very loose and his eyes are closed and
It's a bomb. Does he snap awake?
how loud do you yell?
Just say his name basically like this. Saban.
No, nothing yet.
I'm gonna walk over to him, you know, do like this on his shoulder.
As you do that, you feel his like that part, and you can see like his body tense up as he turns to you, with the grip on the sword tightened again, ready to strike. Yeah.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You look like you're sleepwalking.
No, I was just talking.
To Rose.
Yes.
So when will she be getting out?
What?
So when will she be getting out?
We didn't discuss that.
Don't you think you should?
Just still wondering about the letter.
Very well. I'm gonna make sure that door is closed.
That
I'll leave
door
this here.
remains closed. In fact, I'll go so
Can
far.
I lock it, by the way?
There is no key here, but you can hang on. I will make sure that it is also very visually closed. There you go. It is closed, that door. Absolutely closed.
We have been walled in.
You have closed the door. You feel, heck, even right now, the chanting has become even more quiet. You can very faintly hear it, but it's almost as if this whole moment you have time to actually escape your current situation, as you are in this quite nice room. So for even a moment you feel like, maybe the world isn't going to shit. Maybe we aren't all gonna die.
I'm gonna head on over to Rika.
You're going to head to what?
Rika,
Rika, yeah.
you okay?
Yeah, it's been a bit weird, but nothing I haven't read a little about at least. Hopefully, I don't remember. It's been a while.
You've done exceptionally. From what I recall, this place was never called Barovia. It was called Sindal, but nothing else. Anything you'd piece together?
Would I know anything?
About the history of the city?
Yeah, what I remember. Anything.
That's a bit of a stretch, but you wouldn't know anything more than Septimus knows. This whole Barovia place doesn't just tell you anything. It's just, nah. I mean, so far there's only one person who seems to at least have heard of it before.
And he only heard it from someone.
Well, at least it was someone I actually knew instead of just some stranger in a bar saying like, "Ah, yeah, it was the Barovia when I was."
Yeah, it actually turns out that back then you just sort of misheard him. He was just coughing. Barovia.
Oh. What place is that?
This is quite strange.
He's gonna toss her a potion of healing.
She's gonna take it and put it in her bag. That is beginning to really fill with a lot of random stuff.
He's gonna toss Saban a potion as well. But he's gonna make sure his eyes are open so he catches.
Yeah, he is. He hasn't wandered off now. Has his one hand under his cloak again, most likely holding a sword, and he grabs it with his other hand. Thanks.
What should we do about the cultists?
Depends on what's left, really. We should probably try to clear it out at least.
If we were to do this
Leather
by the
mentions
book,
once we enter that place, we cannot we cannot leave without awakening the creature.
We might not be able to leave without awakening.
Yeah, without awakening Lorga. Now, should we try doing the ritual?
No. No.
why are you suggesting that?
Let's not do that. That seems like a very bad idea.
Well,
Pretty please?
I mean, if you want to get your mule down here for a sec, that's your business, but I ain't doing it.
to be fair, I do value your child more than I prefer my mule.
What are you trying to do?
I done.
Rose wants to try it.
Saban should become a vampire. If her mother was right, she's not gonna come back to life.
If her mother was right, but her mother trusted a Lord God.
Well, right now she is a ghost. She isn't exactly alive now either.
That may be so, but
According to the letter, she was hoping.
Couldn't
Would
hear
leave her not. According to
again.
her,
This is... It cut off again exactly when you started speaking. Sorry.
Yeah.
according to her mother's note, the ritual would leave her not traumatized, which means she's not gonna remember this happened.
well, no.
It's
what
likely
it,
she
what
won't
it
remember
said,
us.
what
Said
it said
hopefully not
was
too
that
traumatized
she
about
hopefully
this.
wasn't traumatized like that. But she isn't really. She's dead. But she's not, gone to the after. So
And apparently her mother did not know that she had become a ghost. With her mother knowledge, it would have been the body that had starved away in quite a bit of agony would have just came back.
thing is, wait, Daniel, how much have I read about vampires?
Well, I mean, there was a book series that I talked to you about, this Pale Light trilogy. There's also some, other tales
Things
about
that
them.
aren't drama novels.
Things that aren't drama novels. Well, it depends. It really depends on how far you go. Like vampires, there's a lot of different depictions of them actually. So it goes from child-eating hideous monster to humanoid lich.
So, but I mean, if we look at common traits, most of them hunger for blood, and if they don't get blood, they die. And quite frankly, I don't want to subject the little girl to being ravenously hungry for. That's just personal morality. She did say we could put her to rest by putting her in her own tomb.
I don't think she wants that.
Saban, we are gods. We are not mages, we're not magicians. And I especially...
kind of raise my hand like towards Rika, like, but
He's gonna raise his hand. The point stands. I'm not gonna meddle in dark magic.
to be fair,
I
I think
mean-
missing work for 2 years probably makes me not a god anymore.
I mean, you haven't officially been fired.
He's been missing for 3 years.
He hasn't officially been fired. I've seen the paper.
If he was missing, he would be declared dead.
No, who was declared missing? I mean, there was no... And sure, it was 3 years, but he was missing.
I mean, Rika is really atop of the curve here because she really knows the paperwork, and
as far as
doing.
I know, I haven't signed any paperwork.
Yeah, and the thing is, during that time, the paperwork for missing people just kept on getting more and more and more. And to be honest, there was kind of a bit of a stalling with all of that.
And I have never archived any formal dismissal of Van before. So no, he has not been fired and he is still a guard.
So how big of a paycheck am I waiting for? It's down.
Well, you haven't been to work, so you're not getting a paycheck. You still have to check in.
Mhm.
But you do qualify for pension.
Not that old.
No, but you've worked long enough for it. I mean, you can't just quit your job and get the pension. That's not how it works. But you qualify for it.
Hmm.
And why do you even want to try? Is this you talking or is this Rose?
And it's her who says what she wants. I want to support her.
You met her last night.
I mean, I understand that it could be risky, but
Savan, how about you? You could take a back seat and let her explain the case.
Marzipan asks in his mind, he willing to do that?
I guess, to be honest, they seem a little scary. But yeah, I can do it. Especially the Septimus fella.
I mean, that's true.
Saban in his mind says, don't be scared. If you want in this body, you can toss him to the wall.
Okay, so you switch places.
Yeah, basically just lay my head back. And
All right. Yes, Rose speaks through you. Yeah, I would really like to live again and I understand that you are a little bit worried about that aspect, and to be honest, I can't say that I don't have some second thoughts about it, but it's either trying that or just staying like this forever.
You can also pass on.
No, I don't want to pass on.
So, the thing about vampires is you wouldn't be alive technically. You'd still be dead.
But I'd be able to have a body again, and to feel things, and to eat, and to smell, right?
Blood.
Eat
You'd be
blood.
able to eat blood off of people.
But I don't have to, do I?
animals. You do. Otherwise, you'll perish.
Wait, you said animals.
Well,
Maybe.
I mean,
probably.
That would be right, alright, I guess. I mean, it's a little bit gross.
Not that different from eating meat.
Eating raw meat.
I suppose.
So,
Thing is, what exactly is keeping you here?
I don't really know how it works. I just... I can't really leave the house or anything.
I mean, your mom's note did say that putting you in your tomb, putting your body in your tomb, would let you pass on.
I don't want to pass on.
And that leads to my former question. What's keeping you?
I just don't want to pass on. I've been here for such a long time. At the beginning, I probably might have done so. I might have even wanted to do so, but I've been here so long, and I've suffered through so much. I don't want it to be for nothing.
Well, if we stop the house from taking more lives, it wouldn't be for nothing.
No, that's not it. I mean, I suppose it is. I mean, you know, it would be great if the house didn't do that anymore, but it's a bit more personal like that. I want to live, if that makes sense. I mean, I suppose it might not be possible, but if there's a chance, then I would at least like to try.
Rose, it wouldn't really be a life. You're not gonna grow up.
I know that it might not be a real life, but it might be the closest I can get to it.
We don't even know if it would work as whatever it is.
What happens if you...
Lies. It's what it does, it lies.
I don't know, but the alternative is staying a ghost.
If it's what you really, really want, and I want you to be really sure about it. If it's really what you want, single attempt.
Yeah, yes. Yes, I do want that.
Septimus, your thoughts?
Can I please roll something? This kid is full of shit because this is so suspicious. Oh, help me turn into a ravenous monster. Drinks blood at night. I'll be so good, I promise. I'm not buying it for a fucking second.
That's called an inside check.
May I please have one of those, Danny?
And now she can actually do it, you know, because she's actually talking to us.
I'm thinking about it. Would it be an inside check? I mean, yeah, yeah, you're trying to see if she's lying. Yeah, an inside check would be it.
Lying or has ulterior motives.
She's
Also-
hiding something.
Also, Desperate, if you could you roll a deception roll?
Ah,
Son of I knew it.
this
I
little
knew
thing
it.
has a thing coming.
Who knows? Maybe I'm just making you guys paranoid. Anyway, you're inside.
It uses the wrong body for that. I have a double stack charisma.
Spill the beans! Spill them!
Yes. So, sadly, you do not get the result you wanted. She seems to be completely genuine. And you were certain there must be something shady going on here, but she seems to be completely honest. She just... Nothing she said seems to have been a lie in any way.
Again, it can also mean that she has an ulterior motive.
Well,
Does she have an
Septimus
ulterior
is gonna look
motive?
at Rika, go,
Not... it doesn't sound like it. She seems to say that her goal is to have a life again, and that seems to be it.
well, Septimus is gonna turn to Rika, do basic. He's taking no part. He's not helping with this ritual.
Anyway, Saban, you're back in control.
Again, I said I would allow myself. I did not say I would help. No, I may study black magic, but no, I would not like to participate in the summoning of a fucking whatever it is.
I mean,
no.
her intentions are pure, but yeah, that does not necessarily mean that
It could not go horribly wrong.
you make your decisions. I like this part because this is interesting.
Again,
I'm
I'll
not
allow a
helping.
single attempt. And that's all. I am not participating. I will not be helping this. This is madness. But I'll allow it once. For this wait. Shit, I just trapped myself. It's for science. God. Fuck. Now I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Well, I mean, Septimus does not appear amused in any way. I remember back then when you were actually discussing, she went like... But,
Actually, no. I just looked back at my thoughts. If I'm excited about it, I'm not excited about it. I don't want to do it. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. It's fine if you do. I'm not.
Saban, you're back in control. You can join the conversation. Don't want to keep you out of it too long.
So,
I mean, I'll protect you while I'll protect you until make sure you don't die. But I'm not gonna help you with the ritual.
that's understandable.
Funny how the two people who like occultism wants nothing to do with this.
I mean, yeah, as you
That's
said.
why they don't want anything to do with it. They know that shit.
Svan, you're carrying her body down there, and you're putting her body in the tomb, and you're taking the amulet to where it needs to go, and you'll be doing this stuff. Is that all right?
Yes, I am fine with that.
Great.
And if I suspect that you are summoning this Lorgoth creature, I will take appropriate action.
He might have to summon the Lorgoth creature.
I'm not letting him do this.
The note said that if we enter the room, we may not leave it without awakening the Lurgoth anyway. This honestly feels like the only way to keep it slumbering, as the note would imply.
Once. If anything goes bad, we're out of here.
Before all that,
If anything goes bad, I will make sure that if it's a question of me sacrificing my life for you to be safe, I will do.
I'd rather take the fucking mist than go toe to toe with a Lorgoth. Just saying. Or for that sake, a vampire.
before all that, how should we handle the cultists?
Well, we are in disguise and we are doing a ritual the priest has told them to do.
I mean, now you put it like that.
Some 300 years ago.
More than 300 years ago.
Probably.
I'd guess about 4 centuries. At least.
Nice.
Since we don't know our current year.
Do you mean the year in which you are? I can give you a number if you want. A random number.
Yes,
Honestly, it
just
won't.
give us
Sure.
a fucking number.
Sure, you are currently in the year 1389.
This game was released in 16, the module.
There you go. 1389.
Not the Dark Ages.
I'll be honest, I have nothing to do with the law. I'll just go with that. And as long as I keep it consistent within this campaign, I'll be happy.
They've been waiting here to do it in 632 years. 6 centuries. And 3 decades.
I mean, you think they would be thrilled to finally do it.
I think their souls are very thrilled to get the fuck out of here.
They've been hyping themselves up for basically 800 years, like with the chanting, yeah, every moment they're gonna come through the door, every moment.
Yes, yes. No, Daniel Bryan.
Kobe.
I was more thinking yes movement, not a little E. So, we're gonna go fetch a body and an amulet then, or I will.
Yes, you will.
So you're going alone. What are the other two doing then?
I'm accompanying Saban. I'm not touching.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just following.
Septimus?
Same, I guess.
All right. Septimus does not appear happy with this course of action.
Absolutely not. This
Yeah.
is the when I signed up to work as a guard, this is the last thing I pictured I would be doing.
Now you're doing
Carrying bones and amulets and taking part in rituals, okay?
Consider this
Well,
break time.
You won't do those 3 things. You're not gonna carry any bones, nor an amulet. You're not gonna participate. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I love this
It's
because...
just Saban. Just
Yeah.
Saban.
Consider it to be a break.
Okay,
I
yes,
see
so
what
you
mean.
carry the... What do you do with the amulet? Who has it?
I ask Rose, like, does she have a preference?
I trust you, I suppose.
Well, if anyone And unless anyone opposes, Saban can take the amulet.
All right.
I'm not touching that shit with a 10-foot pole.
As you
Out of
take,
character.
What about a
yes.
magic 5-foot pole?
I mean, you can also say it in character. I'll be honest. You're completely entitled to this view because, I mean, let's face it, this is kind of crazy to be doing. Your character has a good point. You can say it if you want.
I'm not saying it. I'm just.
You're not
Okay.
touching it with a 5-foot magical pole.
Anyway, so back
Was
to
this the, like, was it? I'm missing it from my notes. Was this the amulet that was emitting that weird stuff from it?
weird stuff from it. Be more.
Yeah, like the spike. What was it?
No,
It
it's
was
the
the one
purple
where-
amulet. She was her body. Of course.
Yeah, where there was a god who was holding her throat and stuff. Like, wasn't that from an amulet?
What?
I don't know.
In the last session.
No. I mean, in the last session, I was going to take it off, of course. But then she appeared. And
Yeah, genau. She stopped you, pushed you away.
No, yeah. In that case, it was a different amulet or something that was questioned.
Can't remember a different amulet, to be honest.
It may have not been an amulet. Something magic.
Anyway, so as you take the amulet, you hear a faint thank you, and you feel the presence of the soul disappearing as the amulet is now in your hands and no longer around the neck of the girl.
Did the boy have a necklace?
No, he did not.
One thing I might consider doing is putting his corpse in his tomb. I think that might actually be a good idea.
Yeah, but remember to keep the door close by.
That Septimus will. Okay.
Yeah.
That he will help with.
Yeah,
I mean, if we want, we could also get the father's corpse.
true. Septimus, do you take the father's corpse? Then I'll take Thorns.
Alright. I'll do that.
Be wary of the skeleton outside the door, by the way.
Oh no, the skeleton is literally doing nothing. Actually, to be more precise,
Yeah, but now if there is no soul left.
to be more precise, now that you look around, the skeleton is on the ground.
Hmm.
So it no longer seems to be animated.
Okay. Well, I take the amulet and wrap up the blanket or the sheet.
Alright.
Take the bones in that. To make sure I don't drop them.
Okay. Okay, so you carry bodies downstairs.
Yep.
Which body goes into which coffin?
Well, Thorns goes into Thorn.
Okay.
Gustav's goes into Gustav's.
I have a question. Who the hell is Walter?
I mean, we can check the coffin. If there's nothing in there, I'm gonna
The
assume it's the baby.
Yeah, you can check the coffin. Not only as you open, you also see that the coffin is much smaller than all the other coffins.
Yeah, it's the
So most likely the baby. But the baby is guarded by a...
No, there's no baby in the sheet.
Oh yeah.
There's
So we
no
never
baby.
found the corpse of the baby. Odd. So we're technically two skeletons short. We're short of the mother and the baby.
Yeah, but I
Yes.
think the mother skeleton might be in the ritual chamber.
Might be.
So
Babies might be in there too.
so we know into which coffin Fawn's body goes. We know into which coffin Gustav's body goes.
And Rose goes into her mother's coffin. Unless
I was curious if it screwed up this part. Okay, fair enough. You
We could also just
go to
say fuck it and put her in. And she
you
can do
could.
it.
Okay, so you put it in her mother's.
Yeah.
Okay, you put it in there, and there's still, it's still quite a dirty coffin. And you also see some rats sprawling about, sprawling back from this.
blanket, there. As friction against the coffin.
All right.
If that doesn't mess up with the ritual. Didn't say anything about not putting a plant in.
So yeah, she's now in the coffin.
God, I really want to put her in her own tomb.
I mean, it's not too late. You can do what you want.
Yep. Siobhan closest to the tomb.
All right.
I swear, if this comes back to bite us, and it probably will, I'm gonna scream the biggest "I told you so" that was ever told. I'm just saying.
To be fair, I would kinda like if I was playing. I kinda wish I was playing like a shifty bot or a rogue because they would just be like, no, yeah, go rest in peace.
You could also, you know, have a morally good character.
I mean, see, that's the interesting part of this because, like,
Technically,
even as a good person, you could argue for either side.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, thing is, sure, but she wants to get turned into a vampire, a very evil creature. So, no.
to be fair,
I mean, you have read the Pale books, right? Not necessarily evil in those ones.
Look,
It's
I've
drama.
read them, and it's drama.
It's drama novels. Get the fuck out.
also,
I'm just saying.
besides the occult members, vampires aren't really known.
Yeah, that's also true.
Folks. Yeah,
That's also true. They're not that
So-
widely known.
like the Boogeyman man stories we have in these spots are different. They are of goblins and orcs. So
I
yeah,
really want to put her on.
Another note.
I gave her one chance. Fuck.
Another note. At this point, there is another route that you have not gone to before.
Ooh.
If you remember this intersection, you have not gone this way yet.
Yes. Let's go there. Stalling for time.
So, okay, you left it all there. You got the amulet. You have put it in the right coffin, and you put Fawn into the right coffin as well,
And Gustav in the right car.
and Gustav. Okay, this is something I need to take note of. Anyway, you go down this other path, the last path that does not lead down into the chanting area.
Wait, should we not have done that? They may all get turned into vampires. That'd be bad. Except her mother did say that they.
I mean, considering how much her mother hated the husband, I highly doubt
True.
that would be something he'd plan, like she'd plan.
True.
You enter a new room, quite a big room, and all around you, on the walls, are skeletons, shackled to the walls, with both their hands and their feet. In the middle of the room, or rather in the middle, there's a staircase that leads up to what looks like a sort of shrine. And there is a statue of a man. Quite elegant looking, having a big flowing cape, the smuggest of smiles and nobles clothing. His teeth show a sort of fang as well. And he is holding out a big round orb, purple orb.
I presume this is Strahd. Does it say anywhere?
This is Strahd, in fact. And this is easy to also check because under the statue at the foot of it, there is a naming placket as well. Strahd von Zarovik.
Alright, but you can walk up and you can stand like.
He is basically person-sized, so
Okay.
How tall is it?
I don't want to touch the purple orb. Can't touch the purple orb.
you want... Okay, what you want doesn't matter. Do you do it? He's holding it out. I mean, it's very tempting. You reckon you could probably do it quite quickly as well. Anyway, to get back to your question, how tall he is. You'd say he's about as tall as a bun.
On a 1 I do it, on a 2 I don't. I do it. I touch the orb.
Okay, just question. How do you go about this? Do you just like touch it?
I put
or
my hand on it.
you put your hand on it and you keep it there?
Isn't he holding it
Okay.
like?
He is holding it in one hand, so it is quite openly around here.
So I'm gonna put my hand on top of it.
Okay, you put your hand on top of the orb. You are a divine sorcerer, aren't you?
Yes.
Something that you immediately notice, just by touching it, is that there is something inherently magical about this orb. As you touch it, you feel that you could just convey some of your magic into it, almost like. But another thing happens. As you keep your hand on it, suddenly an ice-cold chill goes down your spine, and you feel as if the statue itself is looking at you. You're not sure if the eyes were always pointed at you like this, but it feels like it's watching you.
On a 1, I put magic into it. On a 2, I don't. Let's see what happens. Leaving it up to fate. I do it. I do it. Fuck it.
By the way, what is everybody else
This
doing
is
in the
This
meanwhile?
is a flaw, by the way. This.
What
It's
is
something to research, and I'm excited about it.
is she doing that in character? Like, is she taking out a coin, going?
I can imagine Rika doing that.
Yeah, probably. She's just. Fuck it. Let's see. Okay, I'm doing it.
Okay, so what is everybody else doing while this
She
is
needs
going
something
on?
to keep herself in check.
Ban is looking around the room. Trying to determine, like, make sure it's just a statue, not like how the skeletons are everything. Try to figure out if this room is just a dungeon with statue or something used in a ritual.
All right.
an
You
altar
can
or
roll me history. No, actually perception for that. Oh, in this place, you don't know. It looks really, really scary, you know, with skeletons all across the wall. And the guy looks really scary. You don't know. It could be anything, really. Anyway, Septimus, is there anything you would like to do?
There's the chance of pulling me away.
I mean, yeah. You could do that if you wanted to.
Honestly, under normal circumstances, he would have done that, but at the moment he's in the rabbit hole, so we might as well see just how deep it goes. But he is gonna be ready. He is
Yeah.
gonna be ready to pull Rika away if he thinks that she's in danger.
So, Rika, you put magic inside, or rather, okay, so another question. What kind of spell slots do you have, and what kind of spell slot would you like to put in?
Well, I only have first level spells.
Okay, so first level then.
I have
So I would also alternatively give you the option to try and cast what is essentially the amount of magic you would use on a cantrip, if you would like to rather do that.
Well, that's very smart.
It is.
I'll try with cantrip.
All right.
Cantrip level magic.
So, as you put in the amount of magical power you would require for cantrip, you see how the orb itself glows slightly. A soft purple glow emanating from it. And you feel how your magic inside of it is gathering. And eventually the glow stops and you feel how the magic goes back into your body. You now gain an additional... You have now, or recover a first level spell slot.
What? Dang. Huh. That's pretty cool. now I'm curious, and I thought this is again the flaw of recap. If there's something to research, it's getting exciting. Let's see what its first level spell slot does.
All right. So you do the same thing again, now with a first level spell slot. What happens is, once again, it glows, but this time far more powerful. It's almost as if the whole room is starting to light up in a purplish glow. It glows for a while as you feel your magic has left you and is now entering the orb itself. And just as it happens, slowly the glow dissipates. It dissipates more. And you do not feel any magic returning to you, however, you feel the magic remaining in it. Slowly its glow dies down, and yet you feel that there's still magic inside of the orb.
Oh my god, it
Oh,
stores.
yeah.
You can store spell slots. Hey. Maybe. I don't know. We need to identify this. I don't have
Right,
identifier. The question is, if I put 2 first level spell slots in, does it become a second level spell slot? That is the question.
I mean, you are aware of what is happening. I mean, you certainly saw this last thing happening. Yes?
I have a question. Does this orb seem to be connected to the hand of the statue? Or, can you just pick it up?
You haven't tried yet.
I'm gonna try to pick it up. Like, just, give it a tiny... see if I can lift it.
Seeing this, Saban is gonna go under the statue ready to catch it in case it drops.
Oh, it's not that tall a statue, It is, you would have to literally knee down to be under it, so...
So it wasn't on, like, a pedestal or some kind?
Not a very tall one. It's like, you would say, it's like this size of pedestal. So it's not much.
Yeah. In that case, never mind.
Anyway, so you try to lift it. And you find that it's quite doable. It's not all that heavy. In fact, you expected it to be a bit more heavy. But as you lift it, you feel something has changed. Something has absolutely changed. And it cannot be undone.
Oh.
You don't know what, you don't know where. But you feel like what you did just now, picking this up out of the hands of the statue, has caused something.
Does it feel good or does it feel bad?
It feels... It makes you nervous. You would maybe lean a bit more into the bad side because you're not quite sure what it is, but it makes you nervous a little bit, and you feel...
If it can't be undone, guess it's going in the...
Yeah, you do that, and
can't be undone.
you try to ignore the cold sweat that goes down your back. And that seems to be the only place left in this room. The only place left to go to is towards the chanting. Despa, are you already leaving? What about Septimus?
There's nothing left for me to do, so I'm just gonna look around at the skeletons in case one of them starts moving.
Alright. Do you want to
Or
roll?
actually, do they have any clothes?
Oh, they do not have clothes. They're blank skeletons chained to the wall.
How many?
Roughly, let's say 6.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Seeing as now have the purple orb, does it still feel like it's holding the spell slot? Like the
It
magic?
still feels magical. Yes, you do not. You wouldn't. You don't think that something about it has changed per se. But you think whatever you caused was a chain reaction somewhere else. Something that you will come into contact again.
Great. That sounds interesting.
Yes, and ominous.
Yes, but it's interesting. So, I mean, it did give me a spell slot back, so I'm gonna try to use. Let's just. Who's lost health?
Sorry, you do what?
I'm just who's lost health.
Oh, who lost health? I believe Septimus, right?
I have lost 5 hit points so far.
Okay, Saban, have you lost any?
Yeah, but so little that it's really not.
Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can use the spell slot in the orb to cast Cure Wounds on Septimus. See if I can draw the magic out and use it. Because if I can, it's gonna be useful.
Just gonna hold still and wait to see what Rick is gonna pull out of that orb.
Yes, you can use that. You are able to use the first level. You're able to cast while holding the orb. You are capable of casting a spell using a spell slot stored within the orb.
Okay. That's still like Cure Wounds.
Yes. So you can go ahead and actually.
That's for healing, my dude.
Thank you.
Now you have only lost 1 hit point.
What do you guys think? Should we call it a day here, or do you want to go for a little bit longer?
I think Chocola, you lagged.
Actually, it should be more than that. Just a second. It's actually because spellcast.
Guys, do you want to keep going for a bit more, or should we stop it here before you go down?
I mean, I kind of want to.
What I'm wondering about is if we need to go outside the mist to find my mule, or if we're gonna find animal ex machina here.
Right.
Could catch a rat.
Like, where those... Have we seen anything else except half-dead rats?
Yes, you've also seen not half-dead rats. As I said, that swarm
okay,
of rats, not all of them were half-dead. It was only some of them. There were also normal rats among them.
Oh, well, that's good, yeah. I don't need to kill
And
them
thanks to
either.
the rats' good instincts of running away from danger, Rika didn't kill all of them.
Yeah. Just the brain-dead, half-dead ones.
Also, that's actually 8 healing. Because I have that in my mind.
That's excellent. So,
Bit more useful.
can I use the 3 as temporary hit points?
No, that's not how it works.
Oh, okay. Still good though. Thank you.
So, what's the next step? Somebody said something about rats.
Well, since they are live ones, I suppose we need to catch a rat.
Alright, who's doing that?
Saban,
Of course.
if he wants to do the ritual, he's gonna do it by himself.
Alright.
It's his problem.
Alright, so Saban, you're doing it all by yourself then. How will
I
you
may
go
have
about
fucked up
this?
something, but I didn't do the ritual, that's for sure.
Is Rika gonna tell Septimus what the orb is doing, by the way? Or is
Oh, she's going to explain the magical part, not the part about armor.
That makes sense. Okay.
She also hasn't said that the pouch she found the letter in is human leather. So
You know, some things must not be said. Saban, how are you going to go about? How are you going to go about catching rats?
Suspicious.
I have gloves,
Okay.
so I'm wondering. Fuck, my rashes are on the mule.
Basically everything
why did
that's
you leave
useful.
your things on your mule?
I thought it's just a
Because with
house.
Saban's mind, he was just gonna go house, find a baby, find a parent, kill a monster, and get out.
I like how nonchalantly he says that third part.
Kill a monster.
Kill a monster. Get out.
Yeah.
No problem. Chill.
Right.
I have some rations you can have.
Yeah. I think what Saban is gonna try to do is wait.
There is rotten
Use
food in the
rations.
dining hall.
I'm just basically thinking, like, is there a way I could use survival to catch a rat?
Yes, absolutely. That is what trap making is for, in my eyes.
So basically, if I were to instead just put food down, stay very still, and then jump at the rat and catch it. with my hand.
That would be acrobatics.
Yeah, acrobatics. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, in that case, yeah, I'm gonna make a trap. I have rope, but
You want to use rope for a rat?
You're not getting anything from me.
yeah. Ah, fuck it. I'm gonna use my cloak as a tray, and basically, when it's ground, so can't I take the rope like above a pillar
Yes,
to make it so that I can just lift up the whole cloak? Everything.
that does work, yes.
Yeah.
Though you first need to actually reach up there, then again, considering your size, that's not going to be too much of a problem. Yeah, you can do that.
Alright. So survival or
Oh, you're building a trap, so survival.
yeah, a trap is what I would call that.
Alright, that is actually enough. You managed to catch 2 rats in your trap.
Okay. The thing is where to keep them.
That is another question. Right now they're in your cloak.
Yeah, they're gonna eat through that thing. So I will like.
You could just grab it.
I mean, I will grab.
What? And then keep it like
do
that?
it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
just
gonna,
hold the rat.
From
Just
yeah,
the
hold the
neck?
rat.
From
yeah.
the
Like
neck.
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get it out of the cloak though. Like I will grab the rat, both of the rats, possibly. Like if I just keep going down, they should be like in a very small part of the bag. Then grab both rats with one hand and
I have an
then
idea.
open
When
the cloak enough so that I can grab the rats by the neck,
if I may,
so they wouldn't
why
be
don't
able
you
to bite.
just slam the cloak like on the
The problem is we need live animals.
They're knocked out, they're not dead.
I mean, they're rats. Depends on how heavily you really slam that.
Yeah.
If you break their neck, they are gonna be pretty dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think technically that may be the best method.
What, holding them in your hand?
Yeah. I believe
Just,
it might-
just until the ritual starts, he's just walking around like this, with the rats in each hand.
I really have nothing to really tie them to. Like they can eat. I have a water skin. They can eat through that. They can eat through my clothes.
They can eat through 5 feet of concrete easily. You're not going to be keeping them anywhere except in.
Yeah.
Well, you could also hold them by their tail.
Yeah.
That way you'd be able to hold both of them.
Yeah, that's true. I suppose I can try that.
I mean, I'll tell you so much, they won't be cooperable with that. They will be fighting, like, You might get some scratches.
Well, technically, like once I have them in my hand.
Okay, this is bad. Hello? Oh no. What has happened? Why is the connection gone? I suppose maybe this would be about time to actually... yeah, no, there's something going on with the internet here, clearly.
Clothed.
Oh!
I have fake form. Yeah.
Hello!
Ah, welcome back.
Okay, that was not one. Sorry.
Yeah, we thought you were just really in your thoughts.
What, the camera freeze as well?
Yeah, you just were constantly looking to the side.
I don't know if the camera worked or not, but anyway, what were you thinking?
I mean, basically, I have lots of clothes, so two rats should not be providing that much trouble. Like, yes,
Okay.
scratches, but mechanically, basically, they shouldn't do anything to my hit points. Gonna, but
I'll be honest, if you really just carry them around like that, eventually you'll get some scratch marks.
eventually, maybe. I mean, I do have a healer's kit, so is the healer stuff in a tin box or what?
I mean, that would basically mean you'd get rid of your basically all the stuff that is useful in the healer's kit, so
Yeah, that's true. I mean, technically, I could put those in my pockets for a while.
yeah. All right. Let's say you got the rats. Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
So, what now?
We have everything for the ritual. I think the only thing left is to go get our asses killed by Lurgoth and vampire and cultists. What do you think, Septimus? Sound good?
Septimus just looks at him. Is Saban smiling?
Kind of has a playful smirk, like trying to bring some humor into this.
No, Septimus just gives him a cold stare.
I mean, for all you know, Rose is still inside his head.
For all I know, Rose is puppeteering him.
Oh yeah, could be.
Can I do an insight for that?
He could be brainwashed.
Please.
Help
me out.
I'll give it to you without an insight. He does not appear to be brain controlled.
I would have liked it better if he was brain controlled because the alternative is stupid.
I know. I absolutely.
Make a ritual for a vampire. Oh boy.
Leah, I can absolutely understand your character's viewpoints,
Oh
and I
boy,
do love
oh
the
boy,
fact.
ain't that
I do love the fact how you're so logical about this. So I do like the variation of moral compasses we have here. One is like, yeah, no, it seems about right thing to do. The other's like, oh, I want to figure out how this works. And the other's like, are you guys crazy? Who knows what could go wrong? And all of you have a good point for doing those things.
I mean, what Rick is doing is saying, don't bring me into it. I just do whatever you want.
Septimus is like, I cannot believe you're even entertaining the idea. But
To be fair, Saban does know very little about vampires.
That
fuck,
would be
we
his
should
downfall.
tell him. We should tell him.
Like Saban knows from the players. There's
Okay.
this vampire. I mean, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, while they're walking there, then Septimus is gonna ask, what do you think a vampire is?
I mean, I haven't really heard much. There's some stories in taverns that they are undead, of course, crave for blood, not really alive, even though may seem like so, and well, depending on how drunk someone is, they might be telling that no matter the gender of a vampire, it is very alluring. And then the story takes a weird route. I also saw the play on that. What was it?
Pale light?
Yes.
Ah, yes, the one based on a drama novel.
Yeah,
The one that's not real at all and has no.
I mean, it has some,
Yes.
good qualities, but that's what it is. It's fiction.
The vampires glitter. They glitter, Septimus.
I'm just saying the writer had a specific idea about how.
To be fair, they pulled it off very age. I'm pretty sure they used some kind of magic to make actors glisten. It was
Yeah,
very
it's
short.
yeah, it was probably, minor loot or something like that. I don't know.
Probably.
Thing is, it's a bad idea. That's not vampires.
Vampires are bloodthirsty, borderline feral creatures. They do not look like the Pale Lights. They're good
I
books,
mean, from what
sure.
I've been told about ghosts
but-
is that they're vengeful assholes.
Did you forget Lady Durst?
Yeah, did you forget about Rose?
Rose is the exception.
Well,
The
maybe she will
exception
be an
is
exception too.
The exception enforces the rule, Saban.
Well, maybe she will keep enforcing the rule.
What?
Being a
I certainly hope all this misguided optimism of yours pays off, because if it doesn't, I'm going down with you.
I am ready to go down with it if it's the wrong choice. But
If it really is a
she's
knockoff,
being-
we're going down with it, Septimus, whether he wants it or not.
the role.
You came back
I
just
know.
to die.
I
This is suicide.
technically never gone.
This is suicide.
Maybe so, but
This argument
Has
is
been.
happening in whispers, I should say, because I don't want cultists hearing us argue, shouting.
That's probably fair enough.
the cultists are gonna feel bad since we have to hire up.
This is stage
Oh no,
whisper.
parents, stop fighting.
It's a stage whisper.
Yeah, she's been a child for 6 centuries.
And she will continue to be a child.
Wait.
She's not gonna develop. She's never gonna grow up. She's never gonna grow old. She's never gonna have a family.
Well, at
But if
least
we had
she
put
can
her in
experience
her own
childhood
grave-
outside of the mansion.
Saban, what's gonna happen if children start disappearing because she needs playmates?
Well, then,
Are you
Answer
gonna take
down.
responsibility for that?
yes, of course.
You're gonna kill a vampire on your own.
Well, depending how much of an exception she is, she may go away with a stern scolding. But if the need be, yes.
Right. Right. I'll take care of the adoption papers when they. She's your responsibility, if anything. 100% your responsibility.
I'm pretty sure we already agreed on that.
We did. I just want to reiterate, just so you know how much of a fucking responsibility.
You realize we're gonna have to report everything, right? What the hell are we gonna write on that page?
Everything.
I'm never rising above sergeant after this.
I'm not gonna be anything but an archivist after this. That's for sure.
Well, if you want, you can report that I had you tied down if it makes your career paths better.
You want me to lie? on the forms.
I don't want you to suffer because of me.
Well, it's your responsibility. You better fucking bear it.
Why are you so hellbent on doing this? You met her last night.
Spawn goes silent for a while.
What connects you two?
Can I make a guess? Is it unresolved childhood drama? Well, trauma.
Does she say that out loud?
Yes. Well, Saban, is it? Is it that?
Well, let's say that I know what it feels like to lose a childhood.
So it is.
If that's what you want to call it.
Alright. Trauma as your companion, may you take the fall for this.
Do you appreciate you being able to look the other way? For this.
Septimus is just walking ahead and shaking his head.
It's still going in the port, even if everything goes wrong. And if I die, I ain't reporting to the chief. I'm reporting to the god.
Understood.